Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into something really common, something that can genuinely, put the brakes on our ambitions. Self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling, that persistent uncertainty, am I good enough? Can I actually do this?
Exactly. And drawing from our source for today, a really insightful YouTube discussion, self-doubt often shows up as that negative inner
Yeah,
voice,
the critic,
right? The I can'ts and the what
Mhm.
ifs. They just sort of chip away at your confidence. It's that fear of failure, really, that fear of messing up
which can make you hesitate.
or completely avoid things, avoid opportunities you might otherwise take.
It really is like having a backseat driver in your head, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Constantly questioning everything. And, what's interesting is our source mentions that a little bit of self-doubt, just a spark, can actually be okay.
Right. It can motivate you.
Yeah, push you to prepare more, be thorough. But when that spark turns into, like, a wildfire,
Then it's paralyzing.
totally stops you from even starting towards your goals.
Precisely. So our mission here in this deep dive, inspired by the practical stuff shared in that YouTube chat, is to really dig into some strategies. How to understand self-doubt, and more importantly, how to actually navigate it.
Okay, let's get right into it then.
Yeah.
First up, the source really stresses building self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that might sound a bit obvious, but it means really noticing, truly recognizing those moments when self-doubt starts creeping in.
That's got to be the first step, right? You can't fix something if you don't even know it's
This is
happening.
true.
And the transcript suggests something pretty practical. Keeping a journal.
Like a logbook.
Sort of, yeah. Like a detective's log for your own thoughts and feelings. You jot down when the doubt pops up, what situation maybe triggered it, the specific thoughts running through your head.
Ah, so you start seeing patterns.
Exactly. You map it out.
That's a great way to put it. Mapping the terrain of your self-doubt. You might start to see, oh, it always happens before I have to speak publicly, or maybe when I think about asking for a raise.
And once you have that map,
Then you can start challenging those negative thoughts.
absolutely. And that's strategy number 2. The source gives a great example. That inner voice says, I can't do this, or I'm going to fail.
Yeah, we've all heard that one.
Right. And the idea is to consciously counter it. Talk back to it with something more balanced, like, okay, I can try my best, or whatever happens, I'll learn from the experience.
So it's not just positive affirmations, it's more realistic reframing.
Exactly. Actively challenging those automatic negative assumptions, like having a little debate with that irrational voice.
Instead of just letting it run wild, you present counter evidence, a more realistic view.
Yeah.
Okay, now, something else that can really feed self-doubt, according to the source, is setting these massive, kind of vague goals.
Oh, definitely. If a goal feels just huge and fuzzy, it's easy to feel overwhelmed before you even start.
And being overwhelmed is like fertilizer for self-doubt.
Totally. So the transcript really highlights breaking down those big dreams.
Into smaller pieces.
Smaller, more manageable steps. Think about building a house, You don't get it all at once.
You lay the foundation first.
Right. Then the walls, the roof. The source says achieving those smaller things, those little milestones, gives you a sense of accomplishment.
It builds confidence bit by bit.
Yes. Accumulating those small wins, they prove to you incrementally that you can make progress.
Each small success is like evidence against the doubt.
Precisely. It builds momentum, makes the bigger goal feel less scary, more achievable over time.
Okay, and related to that feeling of being capable, let's talk about support systems. Yeah. Our source really dives into how crucial positive relationships are here.
Mm-hmm. Very important.
It talks about encouragement, getting constructive feedback, even just hearing different perspectives from people who support you. How that can quiet the internal noise.
Yeah, and what's really insightful is the idea that self-doubt often gets worse when you're isolated with it.
Right, it festers.
Exactly. It gets distorted, magnified in your own head. But talking to trusted friends or mentors, maybe even certain colleagues.
Gives you a reality check.
Yeah. They might see strengths you're totally missing or offer useful advice from their own lives. It really can lighten the emotional load.
It's like having a sounding board, isn't it? Someone objective when your own view is clouded by self-criticism.
Okay. This next one I think is, well, it's vital but often skipped. Self-compassion.
Oh, this is so critical. The transcript explains it as being as kind to yourself as you'd be to a friend.
Right.
If they messed up or were struggling, it's about pushing back against that really harsh inner critic.
Think about it. If your friend failed at something, you wouldn't just tear them down, would you?
Hopefully not.
You'd offer support, understanding. The source really hammers home treating yourself like that. Acknowledge that setbacks happen, they're part of learning.
They're not proof you're inadequate.
Exactly.
And changing how you relate to yourself like that, it's incredibly powerful. It lets you learn from mistakes without just getting stuck in self-blame,
Which makes you more resilient.
and naturally counteracts the doubt.
Right.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting for me. Visualization.
Mm-hmm.
The source talks about mentally rehearsing success, creating this vivid picture in your mind of achieving things,
Yeah.
overcoming the hurdles.
And psychologically, this is fascinating because our brains don't always perfectly separate, vividly imagine stuff from real experiences.
Really?
Yeah. So if you consistently visualize yourself succeeding, you're actually strengthening the neural pathways linked to confidence and feeling competent. It's like,
Yeah.
like pre-programming your mind.
So it's not just wishful thinking then, it's more active.
Well, the transcript connects it directly to action. So say you're nervous about a presentation.
Okay.
You visualize delivering it well, feeling confident. That visualization can then actually motivate you to prepare properly, practice your delivery, take the concrete steps.
So the visualization makes the action more likely.
Exactly. It builds that initial belief, reduces the anxiety, and then the action reinforces the belief and chips away at the doubt that might have stopped you preparing in the first place.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, failure. It happens, right? We all face it. But the source offers a really empowering take on this.
Yes, embracing it.
Not as like the end of the world, but as a learning opportunity, a valuable one.
It's a fundamental reframe, isn't it? Instead of seeing failure as proof you're no good,
You see it as feedback.
essential feedback. What can I learn here? What went wrong? What could I try differently next time?
So moving from a fixed mindset, I failed, I am a failure, to a growth mindset, I failed, what's the lesson?
Exactly. And the transcript points out when you see failures as lessons, the fear of making mistakes goes down.
Which encourages you to try more things, take more risks.
Naturally, step outside that comfort zone. And that feeds directly into building resilience.
Oh.
The source explains that actually facing challenges, navigating those setbacks, pushing through tough times, that process strengthens your ability to handle self-doubt later on.
It's like building emotional muscle then.
That's a great analogy.
Each time you face a hurdle and get over it, you gather proof, evidence you can handle stuff.
And that past success becomes a buffer against future doubt. You know you've done it before.
You've proven it to yourself.
Absolutely. And this links nicely to mindfulness and meditation.
How so?
Well, the transcript points out these practices help you stay present. They allow you to just observe your thoughts and feelings, including the doubtful ones, without getting totally swept away.
So it's about stepping back, observing the negative thoughts instead of automatically believing them.
Precisely. A calm, focused mind is just better equipped to handle the noise of self-doubt. Mindfulness teaches you to see thoughts as just thoughts, not necessarily facts.
Without judgment.
Yes, and meditating regularly can improve your emotional regulation. It gives you that space to respond to doubt with clarity, not just react with fear.
And there are wider benefits too, right? For overall well-being.
Definitely. When you're not constantly fighting that inner critic, it just frees up so much mental energy, leads to more peace.
Okay, one more strategy, and this is one maybe we should all do more often.
Yeah.
Celebrating successes.
Yes. So important. The transcript really emphasizes acknowledging your achievements, appreciating them, even the small ones.
Why is that so crucial?
It reinforces the positive behavior. It builds your sense of, hey, I can do things. Self-efficacy.
It's like making your own highlight reel. The source says consciously recognizing wins, even minor ones, creates this positive feedback loop.
Mm-hmm.
You achieve something, you acknowledge it, that motivates you to keep going, reinforces your belief in yourself.
And it shifts your focus, doesn't it? Away from what you haven't done towards what you have.
Which is a powerful antidote to self-doubt.
Absolutely. Doubt loves to focus on shortcomings. Celebrating progress builds a more balanced, positive view of yourself. Makes it harder for the negative voices.
So wow, we've covered quite a range here. Self-awareness, challenging thoughts, realistic goals, support systems, self-compassion, visualization, embracing failure, resilience, mindfulness, celebrating success. It's clear this isn't just one magic bullet.
No, definitely not. As the source wisely points out, it's an ongoing journey. It takes patience, persistence, a willingness to grow.
And everyone feels it sometimes.
Everyone. Regardless of how successful they seem, the key is having effective strategies to manage it so it doesn't stop you in your tracks.
Well said. So, for everyone tuning in, remember those feelings of self-doubt. They're normal. But They don't have to define your path.
Mm-hmm.
Try out these strategies. See which ones click for you. Make them part of your toolkit for building that confidence and going after your goals.
Absolutely. And be kind to yourself along the way. Remember to notice every step forward, no matter how small it feels. You've got potential, and every effort counts.
Definitely. And maybe, just maybe, think about which of these strategies feels most relevant right now. Is there a current challenge where doubt's creeping in? How could you apply one of these ideas intentionally?
Yeah, that's a great prompt. And also maybe reflect back. Think about times you did overcome self-doubt before. What helped then? What skills did you use? Often the answers are already there in your own experience.